There is a moment in almost everyone's life when the city stops looking like an adventure and starts looking like a threat. You stop seeing the bright lights and the endless possibilities. Instead, you only see the traffic, the noise, the lack of parking, and the sheer volume of other human beings. Suddenly, the idea of a quiet street, a driveway, and a wooden fence becomes incredibly attractive. Society tells us this is just a normal part of growing up. You get a job, you get a dog, you move to the suburbs. But environmental psychology reveals a much deeper truth. Moving to the suburbs is not just a real estate decision, it is a profound psychological shift in how your brain processes the world. If you prefer the suburbs, you're not just looking for a bigger kitchen, you're looking for a very specific type of mental survival. Let's break down exactly what is happening in your head. The first psychological driver is the need for sensory control. When you live in a dense city, your nervous system is constantly in a state of low-grade arousal. Sirens, people arguing on the street, the smell of exhaust. Your brain has to actively work to filter out this massive amount of background data. Psychologists call this cognitive load. It is exhausting. People who crave the suburbs have reached a point where they no longer want to spend mental energy filtering out the world. They want to turn down the volume. The suburbs offer a highly curated sensory environment. You control the temperature, the noise level, and the people you interact with. It is a daily reset for an overstimulated nervous system. The second driver is territoriality and the illusion of control. In a city apartment, your boundaries are incredibly thin. You share walls, ceilings, and hallways with strangers. You hear their footsteps. They hear your conversations. You have no physical buffer. Evolutionary psychology tells us that humans have a deep, primal need for a defensible space. We want a territory that is undeniably ours. The suburban house with its front lawn, its driveway, and its backyard fence acts as a psychological moat. That distance between your front door and the street is not just grass. It is a spatial boundary that tells your brain that you are in control of who gets near you. This need for control is directly tied to the third psychological factor, which is the shift from spontaneity to predictability. Cities are engines of spontaneity. You step outside and you never know who you will meet or what will happen. When you are younger and forming your identity, that chaos is exciting. It is how you discover who you are. But as you solidify your identity, your brain's priorities change. Spontaneity starts to feel like a risk. Predictability starts to feel like safety. The suburbs are the ultimate predictable environment. The streets are quiet, the neighbors have similar routines, and the local grocery store is exactly where you left it. For a busy, stressed mind, this predictability is a massive relief. It allows your brain to run on autopilot. But there is a hidden psychological cost to this suburban dream, and it is something very few people talk about until they are stuck in it. When you buy ultimate control and perfect privacy, you often pay for it with accidental isolation. In the city, you are forced to interact with people who are different from you. You have accidental collisions with neighbors in the lobby or at the coffee shop. In the suburbs, interaction is scheduled. You drive your car into your garage. The garage door closes behind you, and you are sealed in your private fortress. You have successfully protected your nervous system from the chaos of the world, but you have also cut yourself off from the spontaneous human connection that keeps us feeling alive. The choice between the city and the suburbs is really a choice between two different psychological needs: the need for connection versus the need for control. I am really curious to know where you stand on this. Do you thrive in the chaotic energy of the city? Or do you desperately need the predictable peace of the suburbs? Let me know your preference in the comments. I read them all. Welcome to MindGraphy.